We go through. Okay.
Is that okay?
I think I got it. I think I can do it. All right, everybody. We figured it out. Yes. Sure, yeah, absolutely. We want everyone to be able to hear. Okay. Oh. Okay. We won't move the podium. Staying put. Okay. So hi, everybody. Welcome to the BN Press presentation here at 20Books. I think at the end of the presentation, there's about 15 minutes for questions, and for those of you who have any, there is a mic in the middle, and you can come up and ask your questions there. But let's get started. So to begin, I kind of want to get a sense of where everybody is. Has anyone in here published with Barnes & Noble Press? Ah, love it. What a great set of hands. Now, of the people that didn't raise your hands, did you even know that Barnes & Noble had a self-publishing platform? No. So this presentation is definitely going to be a little bit of an in-between for people who are familiar with Barnes & Noble Press and then maybe those who aren't. So we hope that it's going to be informative and educational, and thanks again for everyone being here. So to start, I feel like if you're publishing with Barnes & Noble Press, then you are wide, right? You're on other retailers, and each retailer is slightly different, and Nook readers and Barnes & Noble readers are, how do I get back to the presentation? Are no different. So it's better to understand who a Barnes & Noble reader is, who a Nook reader is, and hopefully that means you guys have recently maybe gone into our stores, maybe you've downloaded our new app, maybe you have a Nook e-reader, but some information that I think is really helpful is that Barnes & Noble remains dedicated to bookselling, both in our stores and with our e-readers, tablets, and app. So that means we actually came out with 3 new Nook devices this year, with more to come. And so we're not going anywhere on the Nook side. Just so you all know, the rumors of our demise, very overstated. We had a Glow Light 4 that came out. We have a Glow Light 4e that is slightly less price. So the Glow Light 4 is $149.99. The Glow Light 4e is $129.99 and is actually on sale right now for $99. So we are still here, we're still putting out great devices, and as I said, there are more to come. We also updated the BN and Nook app. It includes an integrated audiobook experience. So previously, audiobooks on Barnes & Noble were actually on a separate website and a separate app, and this past year, we put everything on bn.com. We added everything back into the Nook app, so now it's a much more seamless and integrated digital experience all around. We also partnered with Lenovo to come out with a 10-inch tablet, and we revitalized the store layout and organization. It was really important to our CEO, James Daunt, who came in a little bit before the pandemic to make sure that our stores were refreshed, modern, and just more customer-friendly, especially for readers. Even the tilt of the bookshelf, so the light caught the cover in the right way, was important to him. So details like that are really important. We are booksellers above anything else. So that also means that we focus more on bookseller knowledge, whether that is in the store or online. I don't know if anyone has gone to our website recently, but we've done a lot of great updates just to really make this the premier place for books and for bookselling. So definitely visit your local store if you want to see some of these changes. So we have another new device, as I mentioned. It's the Pearl Pink limited edition, although limited edition, who knows? It's one of our newer devices. It's the Nook you love with a touch of color, and frankly, it's beautiful. We're really excited about this one. It came out, I think, in the spring or summer, and we are, currently restocked for the holiday season. Let's see. I'm a little behind on my computer, but next up, I think toggling between these two are just a little difficult. So I might just turn myself this way and just do it this way. So we also, as I mentioned, redid our apps. We have a new Barnes & Noble app, which is a more store-focused app. You can shop, for your books on there. Unfortunately, because of restrictions not by us, you can't actually make in-app purchases through, Google, Android, or Apple. That's not our choice, but But we do have the ability to discover, our books on there. You can also, access your membership and do a cafe order. So that's the new BNN app. They also have great store locator tools. It's really nice looking and just much more modern and user-friendly. Similarly, the new Barnes & Noble Nook app, again with audiobooks, and we have our newsstand on there, comics, newspapers, magazines, manga. It's a one-stop shop for all your digital needs. I highly recommend for those who are selling with Barnes & Noble Press to definitely download both of these apps so that you have a better understanding of the user experience that your readers are having. And this is, if you don't want to get a Nook, this is definitely a great way to do that. So as I mentioned before, our bn.com website has gone through some changes, which means more dynamic search and product pages on bn.com to increase discoverability. We are bookseller focused, which means we want to help our readers find the best books, not necessarily the most books, or we want to make sure that they are going there and they're going to get the cream of the crop of the type of books that we think are worthy of their spending dollars. Because again, Barnes & Noble readers, they are more discerning and price conscious in the fact that our books are higher priced than on other sites, and so if they're gonna spend that $14.99 on a trade book, or if they're gonna spend $6.99, $4.99 on an indie book, they want to make sure that they're getting something worth that price. So we did a lot of work to make the website just more discoverable. We added related subjects at the bottom of the product pages just to help, again, with search functionality. And while we do promote our print editions in search results, we do have also the available in ebook audio that pops up as well. I wish that ebooks were at the forefront of search, but we are a physical retail store, and so that is the primary mode that we like to present to the customer. So audiobooks, very important. We know that audiobooks is only gaining steam, and so we brought on a new team and we developed our new audiobooks experience. I think it's just pretty spectacular. We have obviously a huge customer base where you can access audiobooks both on bn.com and the Nook library on your digital app. We have a subscription service that you can sign up for and get like a free trial period. And it's just another way that we're trying to modernize and make sure that our readers and listeners don't have to go too far to find what they want. We also revamped our indie book storefront. We wanted to make sure that we highlight the great work that the indie community is doing. So we have a dedicated landing page to all things indie. It includes Barnes & Noble Press books, and it includes draft-to-digital books. It's just a one-stop shop where customers can go and find their favorite authors. We do our different promotions there, and it's just a really dynamic place that you can access from various parts of the site, but if you want to take another look, you go to where it says Indie Books across the site on the drop-down menus or on the ebook store, the general ebook storefront, and we're constantly updating it and making changes. So search and functionality and discoverability are at the forefront of our mind. So who is B&M Press? For those of you who are less familiar, this is a little quick guide. So we, are a fast and easy self-service, self-publishing platform. Tongue twister. We have various formats that you can upload in ebook and print. We do not have plans for audio, just getting that out of the way. We are not doing direct audio uploads at this time. But we do have a very, easy and seamless and intuitive ebook and print book self-publishing uploading process. Where you have your own files and you upload them. And for ebooks, I think they go on sale pretty quickly. We say within 72 hours, but it's usually faster than that. And print takes a little bit longer. We usually say up to 5 business days. We also have one of the most competitive royalty rates out there at 70% flat rate. So all of your books at whatever price they are, you get 70% royalties. And we have a faster payment cycle of 30 days. Speaking of payments, we also know that we're always making changes and trying to adapt and update according to feedback of our authors. We actually recently made an update to our vendor onboarding process. So I know that there's been some, trickiness there in the past, and we're really proud to be able to say, okay, we took that feedback, and now we know that we have just a few more buttons that you can press to get things out there, to us faster, more transparency in the process of becoming a vendor, and more transparency in what happens if you change any of your information. So that's another way that we're always there to be flexible and fluid and work with you to make sure that our product is as great as it can possibly be. Our print royalties are also competitive. We are 50% of the list price minus printing cost. Right now, we are direct only to B&N, so we don't have expanded distribution in print, but we do sell both, through the online store, and your readers can actually go to any store and then purchase a book through a bookseller at the store. They're print on demand. We do have plans to make our print side a little bit more exciting, I think, but we're hoping to, push out some new initiatives in the coming year. So stay tuned for, what may come in the future there. So we also have a robust sales reporting dashboard with customizable yearly, monthly, weekly sales. You can filter by title and author, ISBN, 30-day graphs, so you can spot trends, like if you have BookBubs and you want to see sort of if there's like a tail on your sales. We also have a top 5 bestseller list, so you can see which of your books are selling within a given week or a 30-day period. We also have we have 2 different types of series sale data. And we also have pre-order reports, which you can find if you go to the reporting menu, and then you have to scroll down a little bit. I say that because some people actually miss it and they don't see it when the drop-down menu comes out. So definitely make sure you look for your pre-order report because it's there. It's incredibly, as I said, robust, and I think it's one of the better, I think it's one of the better ways of viewing all of your sales in one place for B&N. It's just really intuitive. And we really try to make sure it's as dynamic as possible for authors to really get a sense of their sales. As I mentioned before, we do have our print side. We have high-quality paperback high-quality paperback, hardcover with dust jacket, and hardcover with printed case. We do glossy and matte covers. We have 21 trim sizes, including mass market sizes. As I said, competitive printing costs and no setup fees. We also do advanced copy orders for your print book, so you can get them for your advanced reader copies, or if you're doing special giveaways ahead of any kind of new book release. We also say that you can do special editions of your book because our dust jackets are really high quality. It's kind of a nice, especially with the holidays coming up, to treat your fans to maybe a special edition of your print books or your other books to add maybe like a extra chapter in the back and just give your readers a little something special. Again, we have an on-sale window of about up to 5 business days, and then we also have a 6-month pre-order. So how do we help you sell? The big question. We definitely want to make it as easy and accessible to sell your books to Nook readers. We have simple coupon code tool that every author who publishes with us will have access to. If you go to your main projects page, it's on the left rail side of the page under Manage Promotions. And from there, you can see this coupon creator tool where you have an X% off or a buy one, get one off. You can set the discount price on either of those. You can set the dates. There's no price matching. And again, this is just another way for you to treat your Nook readers without basically giving the book away elsewhere. We also have a summary section so you can monitor redemptions, and easy share buttons to Twitter and Facebook. So dynamic merchandising, we have a number of promotions. I don't know if some of you are already familiar. We have a secret, but not so secret, exclusive merchandising dashboard, which everyone here, if you aren't signed up for it, there will be a QR code at the end, and you just have to click on it. You can sign a form, and we'll get your account updated. Because with that comes some additional placements that actually aren't available for all the authors that we work with. So you get standard promotions with that, top indie favorites, which is for new releases and upcoming releases. So if you're trying, we do a big promotion around it every other month, and it's one of our great showcases for indie authors because it's only indie books. Free ebook favorites, Nook books under $2.99, which is actually one of our most high-trafficked collections in the entire site. So whenever you do book bubs or things like that, it's always great to get into either free favorites or the under $2.99. We have free Fridays and the Nook Daily Find. We also do a lot of additional placements. Bundles and series are big. We actually find a lot of our readers really love bundles, like box sets, and they're willing to pay a higher price for a big series of books, as well as category spotlights, seasonal sales. We have something called the Indie Special Offer, guest blog posts, and we have some partner programs. So the top indie favorites, as I mentioned before, it's new and upcoming releases, bi-monthly selection. Unfortunately, we're a little past the submission deadline for our December, January, but coming in the new year, there'll be another one for February and March, and then so on and so forth every other month. It's more than 100 titles chosen, and it has a lot of cross-channel promotion. Our general ebook merchandisers use this list to also populate other promotions within bn.com and our Nook device and app. We know that merchandising free ebooks, we know free ebooks are still a big part of establishing a readership. So we have a number of free promotions that are both accessible through our merchandising dashboard and also just dynamic within the site if your book is free. We have a top free Nook book, start a series for free, and free ebook favorites, and then the free Fridays, which is sort of our own book bub. And it's only $4 a month, so it's a little bit difficult to get placement on. But we always say when you're applying for promotions, always apply for a free Friday because you never know, and it is a really great way, again, to boost your sales and your numbers, even though it's for free. We've always seen a lot of follow-through in sales in the other books in the series. To find free ebooks also more easily on the website, go to just type in free ebooks into the bn.com search bar, and a whole page will come up with all of our free content. We do a lot of cross-channel promotion. I work very closely with our general Nook merchandising team, our audiobooks team, and we work with our email team to make sure that our indie books are getting out there in various ways, whether that is on our device, the Nook app, the Nook e-reader, our social media posts. I actually run the Nook social accounts for Instagram and Facebook, and also on the website, we always do placements on the main storefront page when we're running big sales. So as you can see, for something like our 500 ebooks under $5, we make sure to hit all the different channels. We also have our year-round promotions. Year-based promos that are evergreen are our $2.99 and under, our Nook Daily Find, which is each day is a special spotlight on a book with a very steep discount, about 50% or more. That one, again, is a little bit tricky because we compete with the trade publishers for those spots. However, again, we're always looking to highlight indie content. So we want to make sure that we're using that promotion as well. And then free favorites, and then on the other side it says special themes. Every month we do a special promotion for various themes, whether this month I think it's, we're obviously hitting Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Cyber Week, so it's a lot of those promotions. And then, in the fall it was a fall in love sale, a Halloween horror sale, things like that. So we're always changing it around every month. And again, those will pop up on your merchandising dashboard under monthly promotions. We do virtual events. As I mentioned, I am the manager of our Nook social media accounts for Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is where we get a high number of engagements. I think our readership tends to skew a little older, and I think Facebook is a happy home for them there. And so we do a lot of virtual events with a lot of our indie authors, frankly. We love to both do roundtable type discussions on a theme, or we do new release virtual events to celebrate a book. This is such one event that we did. last year, I guess, at this time, but we do them quite frequently. I'm actually hosting another one on Tuesday, the 22nd, with a number of authors who I think are here at 20Books. So tune into our Facebook, like us and follow us also for just different updates. And I'll have my information at the end if maybe you want to get involved in doing a virtual event. Tools and tips. So for those of you who are maybe newer to publishing or not as familiar with the process, we want to make sure that Barnes & Noble Press is a place where people can come and learn more about the business. I think a lot of you guys here are more familiar with what it is to self-publish, but we get plenty of people who come to the site who don't, and so we want to make sure we have those resources available with everything from steps to self-publishing your first book to how to build your author platform. We have a few different guides and resources available for newbies, or even honestly for veterans who are maybe looking to see if they want to refresh some ideas. You never know what you'll come up with, like just through reading some information out there. So definitely check out our tools and tips section of the website just to see if there's anything that maybe sparks some inspiration. We have some third-party partnerships. We want to make sure that we're helping you every single step of the way in your publishing process, whether that's with publicity and marketing. We work with BookTrib, or editorial help with Reedsy, who we love to work with, or cover design with 99 Designs. And we also work with a company called Incubate, which they do basically, they match your writing style with other authors, and I'll get to them in a little bit, but they're a very interesting company to work with. So our featured partnership is Findaway Voices. As I mentioned before, Barnes & Noble Press is not doing direct audio uploads, but we love working with Findaway. BNN Audiobooks has a great relationship with them, and we're very much looking forward to seeing what happens with the new Spotify deal. But we work with Findaway Voices, and as I'm on the indie ebook side, I actually do have a lot of access to working with our audiobooks team to help facilitate those connections between Findaway, Barnes & Noble Press, and our audiobooks. So as I mentioned, Incubate, this is a way to reach more readers. They host free webinars quite frequently. Sometimes these webinars will add them to our newsletter that we do. I like to say every 6 weeks, but quite frankly, it's a little bit more ad hoc than that. So look for those, if you get our newsletter, you can look for those signups in there. And basically, again, it's knowing who you write like can help build your author platform. So it's just another way of figuring out how you can engage with new readers. So if you can figure out maybe your writing style, then you can maybe find other readers who are primed to like it. I think this tool, it depends on what you're looking for and what you're going in to get out of it. It's definitely not for every author. I think there's a lot of authors here who are pretty confident in their writing style and how they market to their readers. But it's just a very informational session of just maybe, again, a new tool that you didn't think before could be helpful. So what's new? We have a What's New page, which this one's pretty old, actually, so I probably should do another screenshot. But we have a What's New page under the author resources. I check in every once in a while to see what's new, but we also like to announce it on the the website and things like that through our broadcast messaging platform. But this is another way to catch up on things that we've added, including a My Contributors tool. So we know a lot of you work with assistants, and maybe you don't want to give out your login information. Cybersecurity is obviously very important. And so this is a way that you can control how people have access to your account. You can basically cater it to however you like. You can add, they can have access to your projects or your sales reporting or your promotions, but they won't have access to things like your banking information. And you can curate how they look at your profile. It's pretty easy to set up. I think the assistants or whoever is working with you just needs to create a Barnes & Noble Press account. You send them this link, and then they will have access to your dashboard. We also have custom book samples. And we wanted to, again, we know how much indie authors love to have more control over their product and put out there what they think their readers are going to like best. And so with this, our vision was that you could customize your sample that the reader can click through, whether that's online or on the app. You know what your readers would gravitate towards, or maybe you have a specific chapter in the book that you think will really hook them. So you can either choose the default sample, which is only the first 5% of the book, or you can choose a custom sample, which is basically whatever it is you want to create. It's a separate file. You can just upload it. Or you can select sample chapters. So if you wanted to select chapters 5, 6, and 7, for instance, instead of 1, 2, and 3, you can do that. So we think this is a great way, again, of just grasping those readers that you really know. It's also, as I mentioned, we have our coupon code tool. This might be a place where maybe you put a coupon code to say, hey, thanks for checking out my sample. Here's 5% off the book. Again, it's just another way of just making your product more dynamic. We have customized print book covers, so we want to make it as easy as possible to create print books. You can basically create a specified template according to your book cover. You pick all the different features that are, this is also very similar to the process when you upload a book, and so it's a very similar thing. You pick, the different print color, the format, the cover finish, and then it'll spit out a PDF. So staying in touch. We have our blog. It brings indie author voices to BNN readers. We have cross-channel promotion through social and bn.com. And you can get the latest news, advice, and marketing tips. We love guest posts. I also run the blog. So as you can see, I wear many hats. But yeah, so we are always looking for new things to put up there. We're looking, we do our standard things that we have on there, but I also love getting guest posts. We've had some really interesting ones in the past, whether that is speaking to the LGBTQ community about the historical fiction, or we had another author group who did like a writing with your friends blog post, or even just a listicle of like, here are my 5 tips for redesigning your covers. Things like that. We're always welcome to getting pitches, so don't be afraid to reach out to me. We also have our social outreach. Follow us on Facebook if you aren't already. We are Barnes & Noble Press on Facebook. Also, follow us for Nook Social. Twitter is NookBN. Instagram is ReadNook. And Facebook is Nook. We are constantly updating things and announcing things. We do our virtual events, as I mentioned, on Nook. So it's just another great resource to connect with us. So this is my information. Julie Braunschweiger. I am the BN Press manager. We have our merchandising opportunities at bnpressauthors@bn.com, and then our support at bnpresssupport@bn.com. We want to hear from you. It's important to us. Don't be shy. I really do want to know, your comments, your questions, your concerns about the site, about any ideas. I also even love just hearing your thoughts about the industry, what you're seeing out there. So really don't be afraid to reach out. And scan these QR codes. If you haven't already signed up with BNN Press, do so over here. And then on the other side, that's how you can sign up for our merchandising dashboard. So get your phones up or come up closer if you're having trouble. I tried to make them as big as possible. And I will go through and make sure that all of you who signed up are added to this dashboard. And I think that is all from me. So thank you guys, and we'll have some questions. I feel like I'm a little red. I'm sure there's a million things I forgot, so I'm looking forward to all of your questions.
If you have questions, go ahead and use that microphone.
Yeah, just step on it.
All right. First off, I just want to say that I love working with Barnes & Noble.
Oh, great.
It's great. I love the revenue and everything that I get from Barnes &
Thank you.
Noble. But I recently had, I think it was a Nook Daily Deal, and it was great because I was approved the 2 days before my book bob, so it worked very nicely. But I was wondering, one, if there is a place that we could go, because I like to promote things like that via social media and to my newsletter. If there is a place to go to find graphics, and should we be promoting Barnes & Noble, or is there something else that you find works better when we're promoting these deals? And and I guess just best practices in
Yeah.
terms of promoting to social media and to our newsletter
It's
for
a
these
great question. So
opportunities.
hopefully everyone heard, but she was basically asking if you're doing a promotion with us, do we have a place where you can easily find graphics to help promote it, and the best practices for promoting these deals. And so to answer the first part of your question, no, but we don't have a place for graphics. However, actually, that is something that I have brought up to our team. And as we look to plan the year ahead, I think it's a great idea to basically make things just, again, more accessible, put things in your hands. We have the tools in place to help do that. And so I'm very confident, given that now I've been asked multiple times about that maybe we can get that done for you. Best practices when it comes to promoting Barnes & Noble, I think, making sure you always, first of all, follow all of the different accounts on social media, and then tag us. If you're doing a promotion with us, tag Nook, because that's the service that people are reading on. You can tag Barnes & Noble Press as well, but we only have our Facebook. We don't have an Instagram or Twitter. Or a TikTok, because I don't have time. So definitely, make sure to tag us. And I say this because I'm partial to Barnes & Noble, but remind your readers that there are other options out there. If you don't have a Nook reader, maybe they're a little gun shy on getting a Nook reader. Okay, we have another 5 minutes, so I'm going to turn this fast. 10 minutes. Okay, good. I'm not. So maybe, they're a little gun shy on getting a new Nook reader. They think we're going to go out of business, which we're not. So we have our free app. You can tell them to download it, download that free app, and it's a really great user experience. So I think it's just...
Please keep quiet.
This is still a session going on, but questions are being answered. If you're talking, please take it outside to the back.
Oh. Well, thank you. So I think it's just reminding readers about Nook and that we're an option, and we're a great option. We care about our authors, and we care about our readers. So hopefully that answered your question. Great. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so I represent a fantasy author named Will White, and we've been exclusive to Amazon for for the last 9 years. But we've sold 2 million books in the last 3 years, and we're looking like if we went wide and started publishing on BNN Press as well, how do we not start from scratch? Like, what's the right way to people to talk to? What's the right process to follow to kind of transfer that over?
That's a great question. So for those who are who have previously published or are publishing in KU, and going wide is definitely scary. It's a lot of work. All the retailers are slightly different. We have not just different platforms, but different readers, as I mentioned. Our readership is there. They will buy a higher priced book, but they're going to be a little bit pickier about it. And so there are also people who I think under first and foremost, understanding the Nook readership. Off the bat, I think just maybe diving into the website, seeing how we lay out our promotions, our social media feeds, becoming familiar with the app, just making sure you're, really understanding how the Nook reader experience looks. From there, I think, taking a look at the metadata on the product pages and seeing, what does a trade book look like on Barnes & Noble, and what does an indie book look like on Barnes & Noble, and how are we selling our books to our readers? Because the metadata is slightly different. We have a bookseller feel. So our metadata is very much tailored to that kind of North Star. And I think just having an idea of, okay, maybe my description that worked on Kindle isn't going to work on Barnes & Noble and Nook. So maybe it's tailoring it slightly to just being a little bit different. Maybe it's making it not a first-person blurb or something like that. So that kind of research, I think, is really helpful. Thank you. I could go on forever. Sorry if I'm really long-winded about these answers. Okay.
Hi. In regards to the merchandising options and the promos, do you have guides as to what you look for if we are applying for those promos?
We do. We tend to have a section of rules. When you click on them, it'll definitely tell you, here's the parameters that we're looking for the book, whether that's a monthly promotion. Those rules will usually change depending on the promotion. And then the evergreen ones, we also will have those standard guides. You can definitely email and ask a question if you're unsure, if something's unclear, and that's actually great feedback for us because we want to make sure those promotions are as clear as possible.
Okay.
So yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Online.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Great question. Sort of. We absolutely do have you can be a vendor, an international vendor, and sign up and sell your books with Barnes & Noble Press. We have a list of vendors. It's not worldwide. We're not available everywhere, but we are available in most English-speaking countries, and then a number of like European countries as well, like Germany and France. So yes, you can sign up and become a vendor. We do not sell internationally. So you will be still selling to BN readers in the US.
Hi, I have two questions. One is if you're already wide through Ingram Spark, which is distributing and we're pushed on Barnes & Noble already,
Yes.
How is that affected if you like upload a copy through B&N Press?
Great question as well. So we know that there are a lot of print options out there. Ingram is incredibly, well suited to get your books everywhere. We understand that. I think there is a reason to go direct with us for some of your print editions. We offer free ISBNs. Also, when you are going through the process of uploading your book, we'll ask, is this book already on sale on bn.com? Then you'll put in the ISBN. It gives us a note. We suppress the book, and then basically your book remains on sale everywhere else, and then we surface the BN Press version.
Okay, awesome. And then my second question is, because the royalties are set standard, do you have pricing restrictions around upload size for like picture books or picture-heavy books?
We definitely have a file size limit. I can't remember exactly what it is, but yes, we do. And but there's no price. There's no pricing difference. For printing, yes, but ebooks, no. One more question. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes. I'm definitely going to get through all of you. I'm just going to shorten my answers.
Hi. Do you have any suggestions for getting our print books in the physical Barnes & Noble stores?
I get that question a lot. You would think, oh, I'm publishing with Barnes & Noble Press. I should be able to get into the stores. Candidly, it's not that simple. Because we don't have like an expanded distribution model, our print books are in a separate feed. I'm going to get a little technical here. Our print books are in a separate feed that don't actually act like the booksellers don't have as easy access to order them to the stores. They're print on demand. They're not the 50% wholesale discount, and they're non-returnable. So no, we don't have an easy way of getting them in the stores. However, we always advise that make connections with your local B&N. We have a directive for our booksellers and our managers at the stores to look and feel like they're readers in the area, and so they're more open to placing different types of books up there. So talk to your manager at the local B&N store, and maybe they will be willing to put the book on the shelf there. But we don't have like a national presence of getting your book in the stores or anything like that. Hopefully in the future things will be different, but not right
Thank
now.
you.
Just a request. Hello. Thank you for being here, Julie. Any plans to go to allow authors a direct audiobook upload at Barnes & Noble?
No. Simple
was
answer.
Findaway.
No.
Yep. All right.
We're not doing that, sorry. As of right now, but you never know, but no. Yes.
Hi. I had a meeting with Erin Wright last
Yeah.
year, and she recommended strongly that I go through Barnes & Noble Direct. And I have a pretty big backlist, so I was trying to upload, and at first it went great, but then I started having issues with the software, with the spinning circle of death.
Yeah.
And it was more than
Buffering,
one book.
buffering.
It was multiple books. And
Okay.
so I ended up having to go through D to D for some of them, which is not what I would prefer.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't get them to upload. And I know you said you had updated things since last year, so I was wondering if that software was in that update.
I imagine. I mean, we're a website, we're a technology. There are glitches, things happen, things run slowly. Something going on some other part of the website is off, and then it affects us. So it just all depends. I would say maybe go back and take a look and try uploading something again. However, if you're having the same problem, email me directly and let me know, and we can maybe figure out what's going on. Because again, if there's like an ongoing problem, we want to know about it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Couple of questions, hopefully most of which will be very swift answers. For pre-orders,
Yes.
can you do pre-orders on physical books as well as ebooks?
Yeah, so our ebook, I'm just going to say the whole thing. Ebooks are a year ahead, and print books are 6 months. So yes, you can do
Fantastic.
both.
With the audiobooks, you don't do the uploads directly. You said you have partnerships with Findaway. Is that the only method by which you can get them in? Is through
Yeah,
Findaway?
I think it depends on who you work for. what your rights are and who your audio uploads are with. But we do primarily work with Findaway Voices is basically the simple answer. I think there are other options out there, but we just work closely with Findaway.
Very good. And I have forgotten my last question, so that makes it simple.
That's all right. All right. Okay, last one.
Hi, I have two questions actually. So first is for the paperback design. I know that other publishing sites, they give their own templates and their own dimensions. Do you do that?
Yeah, so again, when you're going through the build a book flow to build out your print book, we'll give you all the dimensions of the trim size that you're trying to upload for. So we make it, there's a lot of overlays and things like that to help you know exactly what the book should look like.
And there was this issue with the books on Kindle where people would buy the book and then read it and then return it, so that way the author wouldn't be getting anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't like borrowing. Is there something like that?
I mean, returns happen. I don't think they're as common with us. I mean, I haven't personally heard a lot about it. Again, I think it's because readers are buying a full price book, so they're probably dedicated to buying that book. So we don't have, as far as I know, as many issues with returns.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you guys so much. I did it under the gun. Thanks, everybody.